Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Brother John Stewart on behalf of Lost Sheep Ministries here to take y'all on another little walk with the word for the day. So today I got another lesson for you out of Proverbs. Y'all seem to be loving these Proverbs, and I love them too, because like I told y'all, look at that book trying to get me. Like I told y'all, my favorite book of the Bible. So I've been enjoying doing these lessons out of Proverbs. And tonight I got 4 more verses from Proverbs. I want to do more, but I always get in so much wisdom in the verses. I always get into them, and then I just do way too much on them. So I got 4 of them to try to get to y'all tonight as I finish up Proverbs 28 and 29. So number 1 comes from Proverbs 28, verse 1. And it says this. It says, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. Man, this is a very deep verse here. And I don't think most would get it. And the reason why I don't think they would get it, because I think the only way you can truly grasp exactly what this verse is saying is if you've been in both of those positions before. And it just so happened that I have been in both of those positions before, you know what I'm saying, at some point in my life. Before I started, if y'all don't know my testimony, before I started serving the Lord 21 years ago, I was serving myself. So I was living and participating in all kinds of wickedness, you know what I'm saying, even drug dealing. And because of that, I was always paranoid. I didn't have anyone I can truly trust. You know what I'm saying? I was never really comfortable to let my guard down around people. I couldn't really sleep at night. Didn't realize, I thought I was sleeping, but when I started serving the Lord, I found out I really wasn't sleeping. And then overall, I just really didn't have any peace in my life because I was living in wickedness. And one of the first thing I noticed is the peace that came with giving my life to Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because when that happened, I no longer had the mindset that everyone was trying to get me. You know, because I had the confidence that nobody could do anything to me that God didn't want to happen. I finally understood that concept. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, to the point where I even got rid of my gun. That's one of the first things I did when I gave my life to Christ, because I only had it to protect myself while I was doing the wicked stuff. And I'm like, if I never did use it. That's, thank God I never did use it. So I'm like, if I didn't have to use it while I was doing the wickedness, I'm definitely not going to need it while I'm serving the Lord. And plus, I understand that whatever's going to happen is going to happen, whether I have a gun or not. So I put my complete confidence in the Lord, and I got rid of my gun. And I'm going to tell y'all something about the sleep. The sleep is, I never realized how the wickedness has stripped away my ability to have a peaceful night's rest, because I was always worried about being aware. So I never could get down into that deep sleep they always talking about, because I always had to keep a level of awareness, because I felt like somebody was going to get me if I didn't have my guard up. But guess what? When we start serving God, you don't have that. And see what I'm saying? And that's why I say a man that's doing evil, or what do you say, wicked flee when no man pursueth. It says that because of the paranoia. You know what I'm saying? The paranoia will always have you looking over your shoulder for somebody that's not even there. You see what I'm saying? Because you have no peace, you know. And now that I serve the Lord, I go soul winning, and I try to go into even when I travel, I try to find the worst neighborhoods, and that's where I like to go to. And I never would have thought of going to another state, finding the worst neighborhoods in that state, and then just showing up uninvited. Because if you know hood rules, you know that's rule number 1. You don't go to somebody else's hood unless you know somebody over there. You know what I'm saying? And not only do I do that, I just walk up into there, you know what I'm saying? I walk up into somebody's hood and go right into the trap while they're actually, serving. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting there witness a drug deal, walked up on them while they doing a drug deal, walk up to them while they actually serving, and just start preaching to them. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they look like, man, who is this nigga? This nigga's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I do that, and it's not because I feel that I'm so big and bad, even though I do feel I'm so big and bad. But that's not it. That's not why I do it. The reason why I do it is because I have that boldness of the lion that this verse is talking about. Because my confidence is not in my weapon, it's not in my strength, it's not in my ability to protect myself, but it's in God's ability to keep me safe and protected as long as I'm doing his work. Number 2. Proverbs 28, verse 6, it says, better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. In other words, what that verse is saying there to me, it says, it's better to be me, who I am right now, than to be P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because that's exactly what popped in my head when I first read that. And I know he was acquitted of most of the charges that they tried to bring against him. But that still doesn't change the fact that he did some horrific things and terrorized and traumatized a lot of people, both women and men, for years. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, when I look at the Diddy situation, as well as the Epsteins and the Weinstein and the Cosby, and I look at all these powerful people that has been exposed for their horrendous acts, I actually don't see evil. I know, and I know that's the first thing we want to do. We want to label these people as evil and say that they're these evil beings and they must be possessed by the devil or something. That's the first thing we want to do. We want to blame on evil, and I actually don't see evil in these situations. You know what I see in these situations? Idleness. That's what that is. That is not evil, y'all. That's idleness. They're idle because they're rich. That's what's really going on. Because you got to think about it. If you have enough money, you can buy anything you want. You know what I'm saying? You can buy everything you want if you got enough money. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that they was doing and the people they was doing it to, that's rich people behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is. It's because they're rich. You know what I'm saying? That is the only way they can do the things that they was doing is if they're rich. They had the money to do the kind of stuff they was doing. Because I'm going to tell you something, and I can attest to this. Broke niggas can have that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Broke niggas ain't going to be able to get away with what they was getting away with. It wasn't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. They can't even do those things. But see, like I said, when you're rich and you're able to buy whatever you want, or you're able to have sex with whomever you want because people are throwing themselves at you, then you get bored. And that's what happens. You get bored because it's the thrill of the chase that really excites us. So once that thrill is gone, because everything is just being handed to you, then it no longer does it for you. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they don't put wild animals in the zoo. Most animals that you see in the zoo, they was raised in the zoo. They can't take a wild animal and put them in the zoo. They won't survive because they like the thrill of the chase. So now that thrill of the chase gone, you got to find other extreme ways to get your rocks off. You know what I'm saying? And that leads to the behavior that we've been witnessing from these rich and powerful individuals. So if you want the ability to be able to enjoy pleasure without having to have a freak off or your own little freaking island, then you need to stay broke. And I'm going to tell you something, I can attest that there is nothing more exciting than being broke because you never know how your day is going to go. Number 3, Proverbs 29:9. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Something I really hope that y'all are praying for as you're trying to serve the Lord is when you actively serve, is discernment. I really hope y'all are praying for discernment because when you actively serve the Lord, as I do, this is a crucial tool for you to be effective as you work. Because you have to have the ability to quickly be able to recognize if you are dealing with someone that just lacks understanding or if you are dealing with a fool. Because if you are dealing with someone that just lacks understanding, they can be helped. You can help people like that. You know what I'm saying? So it might be worth your time, your while to spend a little time, going over concepts with them or reasoning with them because there's a possibility of them actually coming around to seeing your perspective and it might change their heart. But when you're dealing with a fool, it's pointless. You can have a mountain of evidence to prove your point and they still won't listen because their mind is already made up before they even saw the evidence. So what'll happen is they'll make you waste your time trying to convince them of something that they've already made their decision on in their heart. So what they'll do, they'll get you caught up in some lengthy debate that you have no chance of winning because they're not doing it because they want to learn or understand anything. They're only doing it because they want to win an argument. And that's why I don't debate with people. I don't debate with people at all. You know what I'm saying? If you got some kind of biblical topic you want to talk about, something like that, I will share with you what I think about it or feel about a particular topic. But as soon as you get to speak, spewing out your rhetoric and saying your little stuff, and you can always tell when it's their rhetoric. Once soon you start doing that, I exit the conversation. I don't have time for that because it lets me know I'm dealing with a fool. And then number 4, Proverbs 29:24, it says, Whoso is partner with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and discloses it not. Ooh, that's a deep one right there. That's going to be hard for you hood niggas, I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard for you hood niggas. Because if you want to have a close walk with God and have peace in your life, you have to be very selective about who you spend your time with. Because when you hang around bad people that do bad things, when you hear about it or learn of it and don't do nothing according to the Bible, you just as guilty as they are. You know what I'm saying? And I know a hood rule is no snitching, but God's rule is either snitch or else. So it's best to just stay clear of those type of people Because why should you put your soul at risk for something that somebody else is doing? And that has been your little walk with the word for the day. I love y'all. Peace.